and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to do the bookshelf tag. I basically felt like doing something with my bookshelves today and I didn't feel like trying to do a new bookshelf tour, so I figured a bookshelf tag was good enough. I will leave the original creator in the description bar down below, and let's get started. The first question is, how many bookshelves do you have? I have 4 bookshelves in my apartment that are for my books, as well as 1 bookshelf that is for my partner's books. Basically, I have a lot of books and his books are separate because they're books I would probably never read, but also there are a couple that I probably might read. So 4 that are for my books. Next question is, how many books are on your shelves, or how many books do you think you have? And this question is super simple for me because I definitely track everything that I own on Goodreads. Now, I know that Goodreads doesn't have, like, I own multiple editions of this, and unless I put both editions of it, I am going to have an incorrect number. So I own roughly 380-ish books. However, some of them are graphic novels, comics, manga, and they're in like the box set boxes, not on the actual shelf. Question 3 is, how do you organize your books? And this really depends on the shelves. The 2 shelves that are in frame when I'm in the green chair are books that I have read, organized by author's last names. The one on this side is A through M, and the one on this side is N through Z, and they are pretty much most of my authors that I've read. The one that I filmed in front of with my partner, or for some of my videos for Vlogmas, are books that I own a lot of books from an author by. My Rick Riordan books, my Karen Slaughter books are over there. My favorites, as well as my ARCs, are on that shelf. And my very last shelf, since I do own 4, are my graphic novels and my TBR, which I hadn't mentioned until now. My TBR is on the same shelf as my graphic novel. Question 4 is, what is the oldest book on your bookshelf? And that would be Stuart Little by E.B. White. I have owned this edition of Stuart Little since I was in the 4th grade, which means it's the oldest book on my shelves. I no longer own the dust jacket for it, but I have kept this edition of Stuart Little in a decent enough condition for it to still be on my main bookshelves since I have read it and reread it since I have joined Goodreads, I'm pretty sure, which is why it can be on the main shelves. And yeah, so Stuart Little is the oldest book that I have on my shelves. I'm pretty sure you know that Stuart Little is about a mouse who gets adopted by humans, but this is Stuart Little. It's the oldest book that I have on my shelf. Question 5 is, what is the newest book on your shelves? And that is Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. This is a Gingerbend retelling of The Count of Monte Cristo, and I absolutely loved A Count of Monte Cristo, and I've heard this one has a demisexual protagonist, which I love that. And this one my partner got me for Valentine's Day, which was not too long ago, so I ended up getting this one on my shelves. So this is the newest book on my shelf. Question 6 is, what is the longest book on your bookshelf? And that would be The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. This edition is the Borders edition, so it is also computer for one of my oldest books on my shelves. This one is 1,228 pages and therefore my longest book on my TBR as well, and I am looking forward to at some point getting to this. So question 7, however, is, what is the shortest book on your bookshelf? And that is The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This one I have read, and I really enjoy the Tea Dragon Society, as well as all of the tea dragons that Katie O'Neill has crafted. And this one comes in at 72 pages, making it the shortest book that I own. Question 8 is, which genre predominates your shelves? And I know that I have 300-ish books, and I'm like looking at the ones around me, and I can see I have quite a few fantasy there, but I do know, like, I own every Karen Slaughter book, and that's, you know, about a dozen, and thrillers. And I know I classify all the Harry Potter books in paranormal, and I classify a couple books in thriller. I'm not sure. It's either fantasy, contemporary, or thriller. I'm not sure. I do know I do own quite a few paranormal. I know I own quite a few that are sci-fi, but it's probably, if I'm being honest, contemporary, fantasy, or thriller, just based on the fact of how I classify my book. Question 9 is, have you done a bookshelf tour before? And the answer is yes, I have. I did one at the end of 2018, right before 2019, but it was right before I did a book haul. So it was out of date before I even had posted it, and I've unhauled quite a few books since then, so I will link that linked in the card up above if you're interested. However, it's definitely outdated at this point, but how I set up my books is roughly the same, so you can have a better idea of how I set them up. Question 10 is to use a random number generator and to talk about the book that it randomly number generates. So the number that it pulled was number 98, and based on where that falls on my Goodreads shelf, and that would be one of the volumes of Full Metal Alchemist. I have not finished completing this series. I just kind of have been one-offing it. I'm thinking I'm going to do a video where I binge read all of it and kind of do a reaction as I'm doing that. I basically don't know how to describe Full Metal Alchemist except for it is about alchemy and equivalent exchange. It's one of my first ever anime series, but was not one of my first manga series. So I'm excited to eventually finish this off, but I have been slowly getting through it, and there are like 27 volumes total. So the one that it pulled was like number 10 or something like that. Question 11 is, do you have any fan merch or any other kind of decorations on your bookshelf? Yes, that is also apparent in my bookshelf tour that I did. I have Funko Pops on my bookshelves. I have, if you can't tell in every video, I have my badges from the cons that I've gone to right there, and I have like little other kinds of knickknacks that I just kind of keep on there, as well as my dice bag, which was not there last time, but I have my dice bag. It lives on my bookshelves. It is what it is. So that was the bookshelf tag. Like I said, I just kind of felt like doing something bookshelf related today, but I just didn't feel like doing an actual bookshelf tour. Were you surprised by any of my answers, or do you have anything that I talked about on your shelves? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. I normally post videos on Wednesdays. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.